Let's go. What's up, guys? This is Jose Ortiz from PetRockMedia.com, and today I'm going to give you my recommendations when looking to buy a laptop for that certain someone, whether it be a kid, whether it be a spouse, whether it be a friend. If you're looking to give that special someone in your life an upgrade in the laptop department, I'm going to go over a few tips, specs that you want to be on the lookout when making that decision this holiday season. Okay, so this video is not going to be about branding. It's not going to be about, the top dollar, top spec, things like that. What I'm going to do is kind of give you my overall thoughts on some of the bare minimum specs that a laptop should have that will last you years and years to come. Now, I know that sounds almost like an oxymoron to say a laptop will last years and years when, every month to 2 months a new laptop is coming out, whether it be Dell, Razer, Mac, things like that. Microsoft comes out with a Surface Book, a Surface Pro, then they stop the numberings, and then yada yada. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some specs that you need to be on the lookout when making that all-time purchase, because when you go to the store, of course they're going to push the latest and greatest. They're going to push the deals that they have, where if you buy this, you get that for free. If you buy a $2,000 computer, you get a printer, and it seems like it's a good deal, but the printer only really in reality retails for $49.99 on Amazon. So, first thing you want to think about is actual memory. Not only the memory that it comes with, but is that memory accessible for you to upgrade down the road? Now, most laptops will come with 8 gigabytes installed, some with 4, some of the cheaper notebooks will come with 4 gigabytes of RAM installed, 8, 16. Now, what you want to also look at is that RAM upgradable? What you want to do is you want to ask or find out, do your research and see, is that RAM upgradable down the road? What I mean by that is, are you able to open up the laptop, take out the RAM, and upgrade it for faster RAM, or expand the gigabytes of the RAM? So if that's the case, then it really doesn't matter, and oftentimes it's even cheaper if you buy the RAM down the road and upgrade it yourself. Do not feel a little apprehensive about opening up a laptop. A lot of times these laptops have their very own compartment for the RAM, and it's as simple as using a little screwdriver, taking a couple of screws, taking out the RAM, and inserting the new RAM. A lot of times it can also be a whole lot cheaper to buy RAM off of third-party websites, Amazon, Newegg, things like that. And you can save yourself a lot of money if you upgrade down the road yourself. Or you can buy the RAM and supply that as the gift to your friend, spouse, loved one, and so forth, and they can do their research and upgrade the RAM themselves. So, now that we're done with memory, next thing you want to look at is hard drive. Now, don't confuse hard drive with memory. Again, memory is your RAM. Hard drive is where you're going to store your physical files, videos, photos, downloads, games, things like that. Now, there's 2 types of real drives that you want to be on the lookout. Is it an HDD drive, a hard disk drive, or is it an SSD drive? Now, SSD drives are a little bit more expensive, not too much, because there are different types of SSD drives, M2 drives, things like that. But SSD drives are a lot faster, but have a little bit higher price, as I said. So you'll see laptops going really cheap and they'll have a 2 terabyte hard drive. That 2 terabyte hard drive is really an HDD drive. A little slower, but tons of storage. Those drives have been around for a long time. Now, the SSDs, like I mentioned, are a lot faster, which is why a lot of times you will see 2 drives in a laptop. You'll see an SSD for maybe 128 or 256 gigs, and then you'll see a 1 terabyte drive in there as well. What that means is the operating system, such as Windows, will be loaded onto the SSD drive, which will make programs open really, really fast, and then you could save your files that you're not going to always be utilizing every day. You could save those on the actual hard drive. So that's something to keep in mind as well when you're looking to buy a new laptop. Next, processor. Now, right now, you might be looking at 5th gen, 6th gen, 7th gen, 8th gen. 5th gen, not so much unless you find some old refurbished ones, but really you're looking at 6th, 7th, or 8th, with the 8th gen just coming out not too long ago, the Coffee Lake. Now, there are some differences, but it also will come down to what it is that user is going to be utilizing the laptop for. Are they just a daily utilizer of a laptop, meaning surfing the web, little bit of word processing, maybe a little bit of photo retouching, not really Photoshop or Lightroom, but maybe little third-party apps from the Windows Store or the App Store if you're looking at a Mac. If that's the case, then 6th, 7th, or 8th gen, really, it's up to you, whatever you can get a better deal on. Obviously, since the 8th gen is a relatively newcomer, it's going to be the most expensive, but the 7th gen processor really still can obtain very good performance results, especially under heavy load. Next, you want to look at the screen. Now, right now, 4K is obviously big, 4K HDR, things like that. On a screen, especially if you're getting a smaller laptop, 4K, in my personal humble opinion, just one man's opinion on the internet, 4K on a small screen is really, really not applicable and needed when you're looking at files, especially, like I said, if all you're going to be doing is doing some word processing, taking advantage of maybe a light video editing or really light photo editing for that matter. 4K is not a screen that you relatively need. And in reality, all that's going to do is really, really, really bring down your battery life. Now, with that being said, you can get some great 4K screens out there. You just want to make sure that you're getting the best value for your money. Do some research. The laptop that I'm editing this video on right now is the Dell Xps 15, the 9560, the upgrade. It's a touchscreen 4K infinity display. Beautiful, beautiful laptop, but it can come in about $2,000. So you definitely want to make sure you're taking the time to research the screen and see in reality if it is something that you absolutely need 4K for, or for general 1080p screen will do the trick. In most cases, 1080p is going to be the best way to go to minimize cost and to get the best value for your money. Now, on the screen, next thing that we're going to talk about is battery life. Coffee break. Battery life is going to be something that you definitely want to think about when purchasing a new laptop. Now, there are some companies that tout all-day battery life. However, that's really under super, super small conditions, meaning you check the internet every hour, every other hour. You type something for about 45 minutes or so and then close the screen. It really doesn't mean that you are at the computer constantly. The battery's not going to last all day. However, there are some laptops that can get a very reputable amount of hours on one charge. That's something you want to think about as well. The Dell Xps that I'm editing on right now gives me about 5 hours, 6 hours of battery life, which can be all day for some people, but for most, obviously that's not. So I typically have to carry around my charger, or in my case, I bought a secondary charger on Amazon. Now, there are some laptops like the MacBooks, the older Mac Airs, when Mac Airs were around, those had 14, 15 hours of battery life at times. Again, under normal conditions of browsing the internet, watching a video here or there. If the person you're buying this laptop for is a huge media consumer, specifically video, battery will die and drain super fast, especially if they're consuming video on full screen all the time. So that's something to think about. Also, battery life. Keep in mind, there really is no such thing as an all-day battery life. However, there are some that get pretty decent amount of hours, 10, 11, 12-hour days on your laptop, and that's pretty good compared to where we used to be 2 to 3 hours on a laptop, and you always absolutely had to keep your charger with you. But that's really it, guys. That's really what I wanted to talk to you about, is just kind of giving you an idea of what you should be looking for when you're looking to buy either a new laptop for yourself or to buy that laptop for that special someone in your life. Once again, guys, if you have any comments, leave them down below. Give me a thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. Subscribe to this channel if you love the content. Don't forget to hit that little bell so you're notified each and every time I post a video or go live. Once again, guys, this is Jose Ortiz from PetRockMedia.com signing out. Peace.